Millions of people wake up and immediately reach for a cocktail of dopamine detoxes, Pomodoro timers, and 5 a.m. routines. We scroll through an endless, unrememberable flood of productivity hacks, hoping to find the one trick that cures our procrastination. But treating yourself like a broken machine and trying to fix it with a hammer only guarantees exhaustion. When you try to force yourself to work harder through sheer willpower, you aren't increasing your capacity. You're just redlining an engine that was never tuned to begin with. Look at the top 1% of performers, the CEOs running multiple companies or the students scoring perfect grades without burning out. They do not rely on random bursts of motivation. They rely on automated mathematical systems. Chronic exhaustion is not a badge of honor for the hard worker. It is a symptom of an inefficient personal operating process. This bell curve shows the core of Six Sigma, an industrial methodology ensuring manufacturing processes are mathematically flawless. A system must produce no more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities. The engine of this methodology is a sequence called DMAIC: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. This is the machine code required to reprogram your cognitive output. To achieve consistent results without burning out, you have to stop attempting to manage your time. You must engineer your life with the cold, calculating precision of a corporate supply chain. The define phase starts with establishing ruthless boundaries. Most people fail because they use partial thinking, setting a work goal without considering the impact on their health. Systemic thinkers use holistic thinking to define exactly where their work ends and where their recovery begins. This means creating a not-to-do list. By explicitly defining the tasks and distractions you will refuse to engage with, you clear the operational waste out of your day before it starts. Next, we measure. You cannot optimize what you don't track. Take sleep. Instead of just counting total hours, clinical biological tracking shows our brains recover in 90-minute REM cycles. Timing your wake-up call to the end of a cycle optimizes rest and prevents the grogginess of broken sleep. Now we analyze. When you audit your working hours, you quickly find that time is rarely the problem. The core operational bottleneck of the human mind is attention. High-level executives treat focus management as the only metric that matters. They know that having 5 hours of time is useless if your attention is fractured every 6 minutes by a notification. Measuring your hours means nothing if the attention allocated within those hours is defective. A system is only as fast as its slowest component. Once the bottleneck is identified, we move to the improve phase. This is the installation of high-yield behavioral upgrades designed to maximize what you get out of every minute. Consider the 3-2-1 CEO system. It forces you to categorize every task into one of 3 buckets: maker, marker, or multiplier. You are either creating, measuring, or delegating. CEOs like Jack Dorsey use this architecture to generate massive output. By rigidly allocating their attention to specific roles on specific days, they eliminate the cognitive friction that comes with switching tasks. You can manually trigger this state by starting your day on hard mode, completing your most cognitively demanding task before checking email or social media. This rewires your brain to associate the start of the day with high-yield focus rather than reactive scrolling. Even your learning can be engineered. Harvard's active recall methods serve as a process improvement over passive reading. By forcing the brain to retrieve information from memory rather than just looking at it, you upgrade the brain's data retention mechanics. These upgrades are not designed to make you work more hours. They are designed to extract the maximum cognitive yield from a single hour of work. But human systems have a primary vulnerability: the moment your emotional motivation drops to zero. That brings us to the control phase. To prevent system collapse, you must implement worst day planning. This is an industrial failsafe, a stripped-down version of your routine that keeps the engine running even when you have no energy. This plan relies on keystone habits, the foundational actions that keep the rest of the machinery running automatically. When everything else falls apart, these habits preserve your progress. This control shifts you from a state of wartime urgency, where you are constantly reacting to chaos, into a state of peacetime. In peacetime, the system handles the workload, creating a buffer of time and energy. A truly controlled system operates with mathematical precision, regardless of how you feel on any given Tuesday. By automating the trivial and standardizing the difficult, you eliminate the low-level panic of the unorganized. This systemic control creates the one thing brute force hustle cannot, the space required to actually slow down. Removing the friction of trying hard allows small, consistent actions to compound. When your focus is high yield, you don't need to rush. You can move with intentional, focused action. The ultimate rule of behavioral engineering is that you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Stop fighting your brain's natural algorithms with fleeting bursts of willpower. Start programming them instead. When you replace frantic hacks with industrial-grade systems, productivity ceases to be a struggle. It becomes a mechanical certainty.